Good evening, everyone. How we echo? One sec. There we go. I think this is working or maybe not. Now I have an echo. Oh my hey, guys. I have a new computer, so this is why. Surprise. Hang on. Let's try that again. We're gonna try this again. Can you guys hear me? Tell me if you can hear me. And if you can't, I'm gonna have to figure something out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hang on, you guys. It's echoing really bad. And this is a new computer. Okay. Yeah. Hang on. Okay. See if you can hear me if this does it. Do we fix it? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay. Okay. Okay, you guys. Let's start that again. We're only how many minutes? 5 minutes and 50 seconds of pure chaos. Okay. Apparently, I had my computer program open twice, so that's why we got some serious reverb going on. Now I'm hot flashing. It's so hot. I love you guys. It's so nice to see you. Oh my God. Nightmare. So let me just tell you a story before we get into the true crime stuff, okay? I love this. Damn you, Chad, and your portal. Okay, so a few weeks ago, my laptop went for a thunderstorm shower on the deck attached to my house. And I don't know what happened. And you guys know I treat my computer, my channel, like this is my baby, right? So I had a super bad migraine in the morning. In the afternoon, I went and laid down. And I'm thinking that my laptop is with me. A couple hours later, my older son comes to visit. I'm thinking nothing of it. It's storming out. I'm listening to the rain. And I go, where's my computer? And I go outside, and my laptop is open outside while it's thunderstorming. So then, Luna, okay? Okay. And then I go and get my computer and I tip it sideways, and there's water everywhere coming out of these, out of this computer. Anyway, needless to say, I got a new computer. And so today I thought I've done live streams for how many years, right? Yeah, no. Then everything that could happen happened. So here we are. It's all good. No, it's not storming out. Of course I had to say thunderstorm shower. And if those of you who are just climbing in and don't know, Chad Daybell case was a case for the last 4.5 years that we've been following. And Chad called certain parts of himself a storm. So now we're having the jokes come out because I said a thunderstorm shower all over my computer. I'm so sorry. All right. Anyways, welcome back. Thank you for being here. It's only 8 minutes long just to get to this intro. And here we are. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Linda, and apparently I don't know how to run a computer today. So I'm on a new computer and a new camera. So here we go. One of the things I want to talk to you, we'll get into true crime right away. You guys are just having a fun time now at my expense. I love you guys. So let's talk about some true crime. You guys can let me know what you guys have been up to. I've been busy behind the scenes. I did take a little tiny bit of time off, but I'm back here getting these videos ready to go. And if you haven't noticed, that I have been uploading YouTube shorts, and I think I've confused a few people about the shorts coming out, but because I haven't really done a lot, I'm starting to upload more. So you may see a little bit of old stuff and a little bit of new stuff, but that's just me trying to figure it out. So one of the things that I wanted to tell you guys about, if you haven't seen it yet, I have a YouTube short about a little dinosaur. And he's right here. He's hanging out with me today. So if you haven't heard this story, and after you can go check out the short that I did. I was eating dinner at a restaurant the other day. Actually, let's back up a little bit. I was talking to my sister last week, and she came to visit, and we went out for dinner. But before we went out for dinner, during the day, we're talking about a place called Drumheller. And if you don't know this place is a small little town in Alberta, but they have a museum there called the Royal Tyrrell Museum. And you go there to see a bunch of dinosaur bones. And that's where they go, and the paleontologists, and they go uncover and do their thing. So we were talking about it on the phone. And while she's talking to me, my sister, I'm folding up pajamas that belong to my son, but they're too small, so I was going to give them to my great nephew. So I thought, weird, I'm looking at a dinosaur right now as you telling me about Drumheller. So, oh good, some of you have been there. This is amazing. So a couple hours later, she rolls in and we decide to go for dinner. And we go for dinner, and I have been telling her, like, look, I really want to find a couple of cases that I want to do on the channel that, I really am passionate about, and I want to connect dots and, do what I do. And so I'm just navigating that. Well, she goes outside for a couple of minutes. She comes back inside and she grabs this and she goes, here, there's your next case. And she just puts it on the table, and I see this little dinosaur, which I'll tell you in a minute what it's all about if you don't know. And so I knew right away, because I knew about this case back, I guess maybe in 2021. And it's about a guy named Ryan Shtuka. And this is a little dinosaur called a Shtukasaurus. And this little guy raises awareness of Ryan's case. And Ryan was a month before his 21st birthday. He was at a place called Sun Peaks, British Columbia, which is a ski resort, and he was working there. He had gone 2 months before there to go and work and live there, and he came from a little small place called Beaumont, Alberta. And so he went there, and one night he went out, he went with some friends, and there was this really cool thing that he did. He went to, I guess it's like a pub, and they were at this silent disco night where you wear earphones and you listen to the DJ and you can dance and whatever, but everybody has earphones on, which I think that's really, really cool. Or headphones. And then after that, he went to a party with his friends. And from what I was reading, it wasn't like a crazy party. It was like a gathering, and they were at a house. And then it was about 2:00, just after 2:00 in the morning, his roommates went to go walk home, and then he was getting his shoes on, apparently. But Ryan is only like a 15-minute walk away, and I can show you the map. He was never seen again, completely vanished. And it was snowy out that night. It was cold out. It was about -20 Celsius. Help me out what that would be. I think it's like 40 Fahrenheit with you guys, with the Americans. But he was never seen again. And I mean, never seen again. Like, dogs couldn't pick up on his scent. Like, that was it. And so this little guy is to raise awareness, and it has his picture. And I'll show you guys a picture too, because I loaded it on my little thing here. But he disappeared on February 17th, 2018. And he was so close to where he lived. Like, I'll show you a map of it if I could find it. I did load it earlier, but like I said, a little rusty. Okay, so check this out. So this map that I have, I took a screenshot of it, and you can see Ryan's house on the right bottom and the party house over there. And he would have to walk around because I guess it's a mountain, right? So you get a lot of snow in between. So even if he walked all the way around, it would have been about a 15-minute walk is what they're estimating. But he absolutely vanished into thin air. There's no sign of him. anywhere. And they also had reports of, and they haven't confirmed either way, but somebody said they heard somebody pull up in a vehicle and say, "Get in the effing car." Now here's Ryan here on the left, obviously, and then you can see it's kind of like the ski hill around. Now, the little Shtukasaurus, which is amazing because they pinpoint all the little places that you find this little dinosaur. Oh, I didn't think it would be so small, but I thought it would be bigger here, that you could see it. But you can see all those little push pins all over the place there in Canada, and it goes down into almost, I think there's, I don't know if, it's hard to see if it was made it to Brazil. Yeah, it did make it to Brazil. And then, yeah, around the world. So it's really cool. There's the United States, and you can see Canada over in the left. For those of you who may not be familiar with Canada, British Columbia is on the left, right west, in this little area. So it's quite something, and they are spreading awareness, the family and people around the world. Why is my comments? There we go. So I think that's really, really cool. And so I'm going to try and get a little, some information on how I can get my hands on some more little dinosaurs and then go and put them somewhere, or if other people want them, we could direct them. And there's a little, what do you call it? A barcode, QR code. And then it takes you to the Facebook page where everybody shares their picture of finding the little Shtukasaurus. So I think this is really cool. And on the back it says, "You found a Shtukasaurus. My name is Ryan Shtuka. I am a Shtukasaurus. I am a curious type and so love adventures, of course. I'm traveling the world with my story to tell of how loved I am and so missed as well. Pick me up and handle with care. Take a picture with me anywhere. You can take me home or leave me right here. All I ask is your picture you'll share. Just one more thing before we say goodbye. Kindness is something in which I believe it is how we get by. Please do something kind to help love grow. Random acts of kindness are the way to go." And then it has hashtag find Ryan Shtuka. So it's amazing. I spent some time on the website, and also I reached out to Ryan's mom, and I was reading some of her comments, or she did a little bit of a blog throughout the first couple years, and just really to get in, read the things that she was going through as she was going through it, and she's still going through it. They haven't found him, but it was quite moving, and she wrote a book. So I will be doing a video on Ryan and whatever I can do to help. But I really thought it was kind of cool to come on tonight, chit chat about Ryan, and just talk about some things and connect with you guys. But it's cool, right? So now after I find this is where it gets a little bit more crazy, because my sister and I decide to go somewhere else for an appy or a drink. And I'm in the parking lot. I turn in, and there's this snowy owl in the parking lot. And let me put him back. Where should he go? Right here. And this snowy owl, I think I've seen an owl once in Calgary, like in 30 years. One other time, maybe two maximum. But this snowy owl is sitting in the parking lot near a tree. So we round the corner, and I say to my sister, "Oh my gosh, there's a snowy owl. Weird." I said, "Take a picture," right? So she goes to get out her camera, but we missed it. But this snowy owl stretched outside, like sideways like this with the wings, and then flew off, and then flew behind a building. It was so weird. So it stuck with me, and I didn't really think too much more other than that was weird. And I went home, and the next morning I looked it up, and it said to uncover hidden truths. So I don't know what happened that day. It was just a really weird, different kind of day, but super cool that I was thinking about it. We were talking about dinosaurs, and then there's Shtukasaurus. Yeah, it was so close. So Yeah, this would be so cool. I'm going to talk to them and find out how I can get my hands on some of these little dinosaurs and then figure out how we can spread the word. I was taking a look at the area. It is pretty, I mean, in wintertime it gets pretty cold. So, but weird that even the scent dogs couldn't find him. There we go, Snowy out. There you go. Whew, I got chills now. Did you guys get chills? Oh, yes, there's been a few people who covered this story, but I will be covering it, and maybe, you never know. You never know. Now, I will see if I can show you. Let's see if I can share my screen today. Yes, let's see if I can share. So if I just come out and zoom out, can you guys see that? Let me make sure you guys are, yeah. Just show you. So there's British Columbia. You see Washington below there. There's Calgary right there. Hello from Calgary. And then if you just kind of creep in here and zoom in, you can see as we get closer and closer, you could see the resort with all the hills, right? And then this area in here, let's get rid of that. Down here is where the block is, so to speak, of where Ryan was hanging out. Now, it's upside down from what I showed you earlier. So you see this little blue shopping bag kind of thing? I believe that was the spot of where his house was or is. And then on these opposite sides where it says Burfield Drive, in here near the red roof place, near that was where he was walking from. So it really wasn't that far, but he never made it home. And every year his family goes up there and goes to look for Ryan. In fact, I believe they go a few times a year, but they have been going every year to go and look for him, and missing posters are being handed out and these little dinosaurs, and just trying to figure out what the heck happened that night. Now, one of the weird things as well is there's a bunch of men that have gone missing in that area. I talked about it before with Marshall Owasa. If you guys, some of you may remember, some of you may not remember, or don't know because you're new to the channel. But there was a man named Marshall Owasa. He'll come on. Oh, there's Charles. um, there's Charles on my screen. You'll see Marshall Owasa come up in my photo, my changing photo frame. And he went missing a few years ago, and he was found up in that area, not quite where Sun Peaks is, but a little ways away. I feel like it's like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away from where Ryan went missing. And these men are going missing, but nobody has figured out yet what the heck happened to these missing men. So I will be doing a future video on that as well. I want to dive into that because I had followed that in 2021, and I was looking yesterday at the scripts and whatnot to see what I had on it and what I can also put together, because there's some weird things that I wouldn't mind talking about, and you guys can, follow as well. I love that you guys know about this stuff. Owls are found in alchemy before science in the 15th century and can signify spiritual enlightenment. Let me tell you the things that have gone on in the last month or two. Now, the other night I was sleeping, and this is probably one of the creepy things that's happened in the last little bit. I wouldn't call what happened with Ryan and the dinosaur and the owl creepy at all. But the other night, I woke up at 3:03 in the morning and my printer printed out my true crime case on Sarah Boone. I'm just saying. But I didn't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go look. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I'm gonna wait till morning to go and see what that's all about. But I went there and I tried to print it off the previous day in the morning and it didn't work. And then at 3:03 in the morning when everything was shut down, it printed. So I don't know what that's about. I have no idea. And then I heard a truck revving their engine, not right outside my house or anything, but I could hear it. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Bubbles Butterfly says, "Oh my goodness, Linda, there's a serial killer here in Austin, Texas. The Rainey Street killer and police officers are not taking action." I haven't heard of this. Let me just... Where did I put my papers? Okay, yeah. I'm going to write that down. I haven't heard of this. I know it's to the point where I say hi when he pops up on the photo frame because there's been some odd things. I do sage my house, but I don't know. It can be funny sometimes. So let me see what I have here. We talked about Ryan Shtuka, the amazing story of how I found him. We got it. Now, one of the things I am that could be Tamsin says Charles came to work on your printer at 3 a.m. Now, some say it's not a serial killer in Austin. It's very interesting. I'd like to see what that's all about. What are some weird points to it? Let me know in the comments as I'm chatting about a different thing. It's scary for us here. I can't imagine. I mean, Austin isn't too big, is it? Let me see how many people are in Austin. Do you guys know? I guess Bubbles would. Someone's Diet Coke's asking when the eyebrow tutorial will be. That'll be on my other channel. Eyebrows and owls. There, we'll call it eyebrows and owls. Okay, so almost actually 1 million people. I didn't know it was that big. 974,447 people. 974,447 in 2022. So that's weird. Has it been like one after another type thing? I realize what a serial killer is, but is it somebody that's like comes out, is killing, and then there's a while, or is it just been boom, boom, boom? A whole lot of men have been pulled out of Ladybird. Interesting. Yeah, I would love to see that. I miss you guys too. We're going to be getting together again, though, real soon because Corey Richins, for those of you who don't know, she's the girl who allegedly poisoned her husband, and she's going to be going into court in a couple weeks here. So I think her preliminary is going to be 2 or 3 days. So if it gets televised, then we're going to be here together. And it won't be as long as Chad Daybell, which we had a lot of fun fun, meaning getting together, not fun on the content, but fun together. We'll be hanging out and going through that. So gear up for that. Let me see how to get this thing off now. There we go. This is so interesting. Lady Bird Lake. What is going on with people, hey? Okay, since we're talking about it, let's get into it. Okay. Let's chat about this because this is interesting. Would you guys rather see me as I read it? Like, do you want to also read it, or I just read it out? This one looks like it won't show me. I hate the ones where you try to go to the article and then they want you to subscribe and all this other stuff and then you can never get it. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So back in February, it looks like they were having they've been talking about it. I'm going to look at the latest and then we can go by then. This is crazy. Okay. Homicide detectives investigate latest dead body found in Lake Austin. Why do they want to make me subscribe to all these places? Hang on. Yeah, I've been working on this. Sarah Boone is going to be bonkers. Yep, in October. We're going to be right in there. Watch for my video at the end of this week or Thursday or Friday. I'll have it up and then we'll start diving in. Maybe I could rip apart a couple things. Okay, so I'm back to reading it. I gotta find another one because that's 2 now that they want me to subscribe. We are gonna find one. Does silence feel like it's like 10 hours on a live stream? Okay, so there's been 13 since 2022, or is it going to be 14 now? Latest Lady Bird Lake deaths prompt police briefing. Coined as the Rainey Lake Killer, the Austin Police Department has continued to debunk rumors and went to social media for a media briefing on the latest deceased individual, a white male with injuries on the Rainey Street trial. Is that supposed to be trail? This is an isolated incident and no known threat to the public, said Officer Austin Zarling. During the media briefing, a reporter asked if the latest death was in response to a serial killer. Zarling stated, "No, we don't believe there is a serial killer at this time." There's a map created of the bodies where they were recovered and updates on the cause of death. The first body was recorded on July 14th, 2022. 4 bodies were recovered in or near the lake in 2022, 5 in 2023, and 3 to date since February 2024. However, the latest body is yet to be added to the list. All of the bodies have been identified except for the 3 this year, waiting the medical examiner's reports. Most of the deaths have been ruled as no foul play, accidental drowning, and only 1 homicide in which the suspect has been charged. Well, that's kind of weird in itself. How are you finding 14 bodies in this place? This is kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy. You know? Like, I was just thinking about swimming in this thing and you're all these dead bodies below. So, I know sometimes in the news, there's more to it than meets the eye. So what are the locals saying about it? I'd like to know. Now I gotta find you guys again. There we go. It's all connected. Ladybird Lake now was Town Lake before. They just renamed it after the first lady of an old president. Okay. All the men came from the same bar and one at another bar, but same owners. Wow, that's okay. This is getting interesting. Holly says, Linda, your vids about your store incident, I showed my 13-year-old and he really learned a lot about safety from those. Thank you. Oh, good. I'm glad that helped. I'm really glad that helped. I know it sucks that we have to think about these things, but it's important, isn't it? Yay, I'm live. I have talked about this with everyone because it's men, no one is paying attention. This is the thing. One of the things on my site is, or on my channel, as you know, or some of you may know, is I do talk about and fight for men because they do kind of get pushed aside sometimes. So I think it's important, just like Marshall Awasa, we'll see if he comes up. Marshall Awasa and I can't think of his last name, and I don't want to say it because I don't want to screw that up because he deserves for me to remember. He'll come up. But, there's men that I fight for as well. So this is interesting. All the men were dosed with GHB. One guy was found alive under a bridge in water, the stream to the lake. This is interesting. This is so interesting. All in 20s. So this is the interesting thing that immediately I also think of the men, the boys and men in British Columbia that have been going missing. And so it's all in a cluster of an area. And this is what fascinates me as well. Like, it's starting to all come together. You guys are asking about Justin. Yeah, I haven't talked to... So Alley Cat says, any news about the boy in Canada that was found dead and the roommates look guilty? I don't have an update, but to be fair, I haven't talked to his mom in a little bit, and it's going to be coming up to another anniversary in a couple months, so I will reach out to her and see how things are going, and maybe do an update video, or maybe still dive into some things that I would like to say, maybe something like that. Um, as a mom to now young adult daughter and son, the convos with my daughter were so hard. Like, I know you're 15, but if you drink, you need to never accept a drink from anyone else. Always open your own. Yes. I even say that to my son, and he's 21, and he's always remembered that, because I had my nephew actually had an incident. This would have been years ago, probably maybe 10, 5 to 10 years ago. I can't remember exactly, but he ended up getting something in his drink. So, and he ended up going to the hospital. He's okay, but you just never know. So, and you hear of dating stories that, now I'm sure men get it too, but this is the stories I hear from girls, that they'll go and they'll excuse themselves, they go to the washroom, they come back, and then their drink was tampered with. So if you're gonna leave, make sure you eat something, or you're finished eating and you're finished drinking. Everyone take a moment to remember Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. It was 6 years today that they were murdered. Yes, absolutely. What's interesting is I have done a video and it's ready to go, but I'll put that up tomorrow. It's ready to go though. On this case, I haven't done one in 4.5 years on the Watts case, but I have created one, and I'll put that up tomorrow. It's interesting. I somehow knew not to put it up today, but I'm here, and we'll remember them today. I've been diving down that too. I think we do too. So sweet. Thank you. Did I catch Nate's latest interview with Ron Ball and Vince Kayakimanu? No. How was it? They're all starting to do some interviews, I guess, now, hey? Oh, I'd love to take a look at that. Um, and Letitia's having issues in jail with a hurt wrist. Oh, come on. You know it's been too quiet, and that's why Letitia had to get out of that. I gotta write that down, because we always love a good Letitia story. Whiny. She kind of reminds me a little bit, or I should say Sarah Boone reminds me a little bit of Letitia with the letter writing and such. I record Sarah's tomorrow, so you'll get that in the next couple days. Let me write that down for Letitia. I missed you too. Thank you for being here. Pretzel Time says there are several missing little girls in Ohio. I believe they are not related to each other and are from Ross County. Interesting. There's been quite a few people from Ohio, isn't it? Has it? Yeah, I think it's Ohio that's been a lot of missing people. Did I hear that Bear moved to Arizona or something? Someone said this earlier tonight that he was in Arizona. I don't know if he moved. Was it that he moved or he's just visiting? Okay, so good. Okay, great. Well, maybe they'll come on here, some of these guys. Oh yes, Jeremy, so nice to see you. Wonder about Barry Morphew a lot. Regards from Holland. Yeah, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here in the middle of the night. Boone is actually impressing me as pro se considering she doesn't want it. She's getting a lot on the record. I don't think Tisha would have the critical thinking of Boone. That hurts to say. I think some of her things that she said in the letter, she did a 58-page letter, and then there's been another one that was recently written. It reminds me of Letitia. Now, I have a fun, before we keep talking true crime, I have a fun little story to tell you. A couple weeks ago, I got to meet one of the viewers who's been watching for quite a few years, and I got to meet her. And so I won't say her name, but it was really cool that I got to meet her, and we had a coffee and chit chatted for a couple hours like old friends. It was great. So hopefully there'll be more than that, more of that. Okay, you guys are giving me the goods here. A fellow inmate says Letitia is now the person who helps others with their cases, a jailhouse lawyer. No, stay home, Letitia. Did I see Hidden True Crimes video today? No. Lauren talked about Chad Tato's book from years ago where he smacked a 7-year-old boy. I don't doubt it. If you saw my video that I did on 10 things about Chad long before, I can't remember exactly what I named the video. I'll have to look it up. But he was killing bees as a child for fun, and he just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Like that doesn't surprise me. And he wrote a book, his first little novel about a murder when he was grade 3, I think it was. So so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Come on over. Okay, Venus, I heard a little bit about this. Um, that a 2-year-old little girl was in the truck, and the dad said that he had it running, and then when he went out there, it was running the first time, the second time it wasn't running, but then he was playing video games. Um, he had been warned many times by wife to quit leaving kids in the car in the hot Arizona, and she's a doctor or something, right? And then they ended up arresting him. I did read some headlines about that. Maybe we get to do a meet and greet. That would be so fun. I would love to meet you guys. Am I going to cover? Yes, the Idaho 4, absolutely. I'll cover that. But now it's pushed to, isn't it? It's pushed. Is it February now? It was supposed to be in October, but I think they pushed it to 2025 from what I last remember, unless it changed again. In his second book, there's a part where they talk about hitting a 7-year-old boy because he was hyper. Oh dear. It doesn't surprise me with Chad, honestly. You don't get to that point without some some problems along the way, you know? I think they should look more into what else he's done. I don't know. That's how I feel. Chad killed 120 bees. I covered that. Hit a teen girl with his car. Doesn't surprise me. Nearly shot his brother Matt in the head while hunting. Doesn't surprise me either. That could just be idiotic or something. Well, this is just me guesstimating. Yeah, there's more to him, and you can see in his eyes. And I think I still have his mugshot already saved in here. You could just see it. Yeah, his new mugshot. Where did it go? I mean, look at this. The guy is a little loco, you know? Yeah, June 2nd, 2025. There we go. So that'll be next year. February is Lori. I would love to be down there. So if they can get that all locked down, maybe I can actually be there. I'll be in Calgary in January for Beetlejuice. Well, message me. That's awesome. I would love to do one. It is super creepy. That's exactly what he looks like. He is diabolical. That's the real Chad. That picture that I just put up, that's for sure the real Chad Daybell. Okay, meet and greet in Hawaii in January when it's freezing. It's not freezing in Hawaii in January compared to what I go through. -45 is not good. Exactly. Those eyes don't give an F. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Video name, top 10 creepy less known facts before the crimes. Now, see if I can find the link for you guys. And then check out the shorts too that I made for on Ryan. Copy. Okay, here. Nice to see you too. Moscow wants the trial when school is not in session. That doesn't surprise me. We got Delphi coming up, but they're not. So the thing with Delphi is they're not gonna televise it. So I'll have to get the updates and then get those going. And maybe we'll see how I can do that. Pam says, I feel like I'm talking to myself right here. Hello. I just probably haven't got to it yet. I have one person that so far that I've hired to help me. So you're start seeing it be the fruits of that labor very shortly. So I have a video coming out tomorrow. There'll be one by the end of the week, and then we have a couple other ones for next week. And I'm very, very thankful that I also got sponsored again for one of my videos. So that helps out too. Helps to pay for the help. Yes, I will be covering Delphi. I've done a few videos on the Delphi case. and I'm sure I'll be getting into it more again. Yeah, little by little. So things are starting to stabilize a little bit, which is great. I know it's been a little bit crazy the last couple years, but you know, I got a new computer, which is great. As I said earlier, I went for a little swim and had to go get a new one. What else? Corey Richens, I did talk about that. There's also, this was kind of neat. I'm going to pull this. I'm not that I'm covering this video, but where did I read that? Let me pull this because I thought there was a case that was solved nearly 50 years later. Do you guys open 7,000 tabs on your computer as well? As I do. Here we go. I read this for you. So the headline says Toys Car Remains of Missing Mom and Child Found in Florida Canal nearly 50 years later. It was a mother and a child who vanished 50 years ago. It's a 35-year-old woman and her daughter, 3, were reported missing in 1974 from their home in Plantation. Her vehicle, a 1961 Chevy Impala, was also missing. Despite extensive investigations over the years, the case went cold until 2023 when volunteer group Sunshine State Sonar partnered with Plantation Police to assist in the search. On Sunday, the team located a vehicle in a Plantation canal near, and it said the address. A subsequent dive search revealed it to be a 1960s Chevy Impala. Inside the car, skeletal remains consistent with an adult and a small child were found, police confirmed. And then one of the divers said, I could see something lying on the back seat. It looked like a purse or something like that. I couldn't tell what it was, and I reached in, grabbed it, and brought it up. It was just above the vehicle, and we realized it was a kid's toy. It was very emotional. It was almost like it was the little girl's way of saying, you found me. Investigators have not released the identities pending dental record results. However, according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the woman's name is Doris Wurst, and her daughter, Karen Wurst, disappeared from Plantation in November 1974 in a 1961 Impala. So, truth comes out, even though it's 50 years later, they were found. So, I mean, it would be horrible for the family to wait 50 years. However, kind of cool that they solved it. And whoever's left after 50 years was able to bring their family member home. Oh, thank you. Somebody's complimenting my nails. Thank you. These are my new nails. Thank you very much. Bear signed his property over to his daughter. Ugh. Did I see the Olympic Aussie breakdance? Oh, yeah. There's some controversy going over that. And that girl, what she did was not nice, if that's true. Really disappointed with news coverage on the recent Delphi hearings, but then judge doesn't allow anything but written notes. So tell me more about this, what's going on, because I know there was something coming up, or did it already happen about the location? Were they trying to get a different venue, a different place? Daybell household donated to an organization who will make a memorial for the kids in Tammy. Wow. That's surprising. How was your vacation? Didn't you say you were going? Yes, I went for a week. I went to my little favorite spot in British Columbia. It's too bad that it wasn't the same time as when I got found the little Shtukasaurus, because then I could have driven to Sun Peaks, which would have been an hour and a half away, but it is what it is. I had a wonderful week. I literally spent maybe a half an hour working a day, which is the first time I've done that in, I don't know, 5 years. But it was really, really good. I ran into so many people that I knew and friends, which was crazy because I would, I don't normally run into them unless I call them up. And I was running into all kinds of people. So that was really cool. It was a really, really good week. It was a really good week. Hailstorm was super crazy. There was a really bad hailstorm, and I was screaming like a little girl at the thunder and the lightning and the hail. But it makes me so proud to be Canadian, showing off the critical thinking skills. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. This sounds like me. Once at 137 tabs, kind of sounds like me. There's something also coming up on Peacock with Scott Peterson finally speaking out and how he didn't murder his family. Would you consider doing Honey and Barry Sherman? Nobody does, and it goes deep with stuff not openly reported on. Yeah, I would consider it. I think I did an initial dive into it behind the scenes, and that would have been a couple years ago. I might even have a script to that. But I know there's some iffy things with you know who that runs the country. So I don't want to get too much into that. So I'd have to see how to go about it. Interestingly, did you know that Rachel Morin, I don't know if you've received my last 3 video notifications, but Rachel Morin, who was a mom of 5, uh, was found murdered a year ago, just over a year ago now, and they caught the guy. And I made a little bit of an oopsie in the video that I did because it pertained to the case, but I put a little 1 minute, like 1 minute blurb in there about her case and some political stuff, which I didn't realize. I should have realized, but I figured since it pertained to the case, it pertained to the case, so I used it, like I put it in, but I shouldn't have because people were angry and I didn't mean to do that. It was part of the case. I was like, okay, I'll include that because that's important because it's part of it. Lesson learned. So I'm going to try and stay away from anything that has to do that. But Honey and Barry Sherman is such an interesting case. They're found posed that matched, wasn't it a statue or a picture or something like that? It was very interesting. But there's some interesting things that come out of these cases as well. So I guess we'll see. No, I saw a hailstorm all right. Any movement in Suzanne's case? Not that I know of. Other than people are talking here that Bear moved apparently to Arizona. They cleared the van that was caught on fire. None of the blood samples match Lacey, but they're trying a duct tape stuck to itself. This is interesting. No way. My brother is in the same prison as Scott. Wow. How is the air quality? We were in Banff 2 weeks ago and it was bad one day. Yeah, it's been okay. There's a place called Jasper, which I go in fall. I go there to visit and it burned. So that was pretty sad. Aw, I know. I'm so sorry you had to do that. Well, you remember my little Jada? Remember at trial she wasn't very feeling very good and I had to keep going to the vet? Jada's no longer here either. Like in the space of 3 weeks, I had Jada go, and then my computer went for the thunderstorm shower, and then my car died, and then I got locked out of the house, and I think there was one more, and I was pretty fed up, and I went, I'm going on vacation. And yeah. Oh, yay. Good for you. That's great. Yay. No, it was American and Canadians, but mostly Americans because it was about an American politician and a little tiny blurb. I got in trouble, so we're just gonna not include that. He won an appeal to get some DNA testing done on the duct tape found on her remains. Okay, let's just see what happens there. Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. There was crazy things happening. It's funny how things will snowball and it just happens all at once. And then it's like, wait a minute, I got to take a look at what's happening in my life and what, like what's going on. And even with the channel and what I want to really showcase and help and actually help like I've done in the past. And yeah, so it's just been interesting. It's I'm so glad you love this chat. The community here is amazing. It truly is, and it's such a hard thing when we talk about true crime, but I will always say that the community here is incredible. We've watched trials together, we laugh together when we need to, we cry together when we need to, and it's just the best. I don't know. It's just the best. Yes, I have looked into his case. When Letitia Stouck first came, the case came on and Gannon was missing. A lot of people talked about his case, and there's just so many to do. But I'm glad that I have the help now that we're just starting to get our mojo and keep going and being able to do more videos and more live streams and take the weight off of the amount of hours it takes. Yeah, we just have so much fun, so it's good here. Yeah. I was just thinking about y'all yesterday, missing everyone, wondering if you do another live, and boom, here you are the next day. Yeah, I'm working with some people too, and we're figuring out for me to do more live streams. If you guys have ideas in what type of live stream structure you would like me to do, like in different ways, like maybe one day I do this type and another type, and hopefully these guests come on. I've invited a few, I haven't heard back, but I'll just keep inviting until somebody comes on. And we'll go from there. It's been a while since I've done that, and I really would like to. Um, I did ask Nate to come on, but I haven't heard. I do not understand the lack of any movement at all in Boswell. She's not going on till 2025. She was supposed to be in court the last couple weeks or sometime this month, I think it was. It's just a status update hearing, but she's going in 2025. Her lawyer dropped her. Well, they dropped each other. More like she dropped him, something like that. And they weren't getting along, and so they had to appoint somebody else. So that's going to be in 2025. So we're going to be busy next year with tons of trials. And yes, you're welcome here anytime. My memory is not always awesome, just sometimes. I try and keep up with the dates of the hearings or any kind of new um, updates, but while I do that, and when I work on a video, I work on the little details that I kind of get immersed in that, right? So it's a little slow to put on some videos on my channel, but it's because I'm deep diving. But I would love if you could find a way to highlight Native women. There are so many missing and they don't get coverage. Yeah, there's a lot in Canada too. Where was I? We were talking about this, or did I read about it? There might have been one in Saskatchewan. I'll look into it, David. I'm trying to remember now where it was recent. I was either reading about it or talking about it with somebody. Linda, did you ever report that Picton died? This is one jailhouse justice I can get behind. Would love to know if they're still looking for remains DNA. I didn't report on him. This is another one that they're starting to connect some dots that lead to some political things. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a crazy case. There's a lot of shady stuff happening there. Oh yeah, for sure. I was just I can't remember now. My memory's sometimes great, my memory's not so great sometimes either. There's so many people missing. Let me show you guys. I want to see, I have a map just to even show you how we were talking about men earlier and that they're missing in BC. There's a map, and when you see it, I mean, Canada's not as big as the States, right? And for people wise. And there's a lot missing. So someone did a map that's kind of cool. See if this goes up. Check this out. So you see here they're showing, let's see if I pop it up. These are all the missing men, but they also track their vehicles, because what's happening is, like Marshall Owasa, he was the young man that I covered on my channel who went missing from just a few hours south of Calgary, so from where I am, a couple hours south. And his vehicle was found in British Columbia. It's like 11 or 12 hours away, and it was found burned on a logging road, like middle of nowhere. And it was found, I think, 10 days later. So they track, let me see if I can find this spot. So there's Ryan, right where right here. And then let me see if I can find where Marshall is, because it's been a while. I think it's... So this Ben guy, this is another guy, Ben Tyner. He actually went missing too, and they found his horse nearby. He's an American who was living in Canada working, and then just randomly, so you could see he went missing right here, and then right here just above where this little yellow spot is, that's where they found his horse. But let's see, Ryan, Marshall. Okay, so Marshall, that's in Lethbridge. That's in Alberta. That's where he was last seen. But his vehicle was way the heck over here. Oh, up there. So that's his truck. It was burned. Now, here's the angering part of Marshall. For Marshall, it was never treated like a crime, even though his truck was burned and there was stuff in his vehicle strewn all over the place there. And also his steering wheel column was stolen, was taken out of his vehicle. And there's no sign of Marshall. So that's where his vehicle up here was. Oh, I can't find it again. You guys are going to take back my memory. Oh, here it is. Okay. So here's his vehicle, and over here is Ryan. And so they're calling this spot. Oh, you want the link to the map? Sure. Oh, you may have discussed this before I got here, but I was wondering if the missing girl you featured had been found. So it was my friend's cousin that was killed in a home invasion. And she came home. Her name's Tori Dunn. Check that out on my channel. I'll grab that for you guys. She came home with her boyfriend, and they were just coming home from celebrating the boyfriend's birthday. But the boyfriend went to the bathroom and came back, and there was a man in their house. And he ended up stabbing Tori and then took off. But this idiot had been in prison twice. He had so many infractions for in prison, including beating up a warden and a guard, and whatever else. They just keep letting him out. And only weeks before, he had stabbed another woman. She lived. And then years, like decades ago, he stabbed another woman, and she ended up living but being on disability because of her injuries. But he's not supposed to have a knife, and yet he lives in British Columbia. He's tenting, so like he's homeless and he lives in a tent. So his rebuttal is, well, I have knives because I have to eat food. So that's why. And then every time he goes in front of a judge, he goes, well, I didn't mean to get in trouble. I just do. And I don't mean to it. I don't look for it. And then he just gets let go. So there's been a lot of that case too. It's tough. I talked to the dad, Tori's dad, and of course he's torn up about it and is his only child. And he's just really angry. This guy should have never been out. And if he would have stayed in jail like he was supposed to, or if he would have been reprimanded and not been on bail, then she'd be alive. And he just randomly chose this place. He was caught on CCTV, walking around and casing out places, and hers just happened to be open. So he decided to help himself go in there, stab her, and then jump out of a window and leave. Oh, thank you. You signed the petition. Thank you. Yeah. Well, this is the bad thing is that this guy was never supposed to be out. On Monday, I was in Dollarama. The guy ahead of us in line was told by the cashier he had to pay full price for something because he had used half of it while in store. Oh boy, that's crazy. Nice to see you, Mary. How can you talk about the Rachel Morin case without mentioning her killer whose DNA was found on her in our country without permission? It was okay for that, but what they came at me and said was that I'm a so and so supporter and so supporter because I talked about the politicians. But what's funny about that to me, well, number one, I'm Canadian, so that's number one. Number two, I mean, I could form a opinion on it, but that wasn't the purpose in the video. And number two, um, what was my number two? Oh, my point I made to them was, well, just because I talk about murders doesn't mean I'm supporting the murderer. Like, I'm just reporting on what was part of that case, and that was part of that case, so I thought that was important. Exactly. I was simply documenting a fact of the case by mentioning it. Exactly. So that was interesting. Thank you, Paul. It was bad though. People were pretty rude. They were pretty rude, and then I just had enough. Oh, hey, Lori, how's it going from Muskoka? How's everything? We were just talking about Justin earlier, and if there was anything new, but I haven't talked to his mom in a while, and I should probably do that and touch base. I don't have a map of that, but this one, how I found this one was through investigating Ryan's case. So, which is great that because now I don't have to do all the work. So whoever did that was amazing. Um, but if I come across one, I could drop a link in the community tab. right? You have to close the shutters, doors, and whisper in the kitchen, right? Yeah, Quentin Simon case, there was something going on in that too. I'll post some of those, whatever is coming up, or maybe we do a live stream and talk about it. And if it doesn't make a very big video, we can go in that. I got in trouble in the comments. People were coming. Actually, this is how extreme it got. Okay, I'm unsubscribing. You're becoming a political channel. It's like, I don't know, out of 600 videos, I might have had 3 videos where I mention maybe some sort of politics. But okay, I'm becoming a political channel. And I just went, bye. uh, Heather says, hey, Linda, I know her trial's over for now, but while you were away, I watched the Karen Reed trial. It was insane. Would love to see you deep dive on her case. Yeah, I know a lot of people were catching the Karen Reed trial. Right now, I've been diving into Sarah Boone, Suitcase Sarah, because I know her trial's coming up too. So, and she's a whole other ball too. You know, more than one person, by the way, was commenting this. I just went, whatever. Like, it got so bad. You're supporting these and I can't support you now. Whatever. It's like, uh, you know? Which, by the way, if since we're talking about that, the video that I came out with Chris Watts 4.5 years ago has millions of views on it. And that was a hard one to do because I was very brand new. And if you look at back of my days in my black chair in the yellow wall, that was a hard one to do. But now I feel like I feel a little bit different. I just feel like, yep, I'm putting one out tomorrow. So it's gonna go live tomorrow. I missed the video you did that made people lose their minds in the comments. I'll give it to you. And out of all that, that was a 20-minute video with like a 1 minute or 2 minutes maximum, and they just lost their marbles. I'm like, okay, you guys misunderstand? I don't know. Did I do something? I don't know. It's like, note to self, Sarah Boone takes too much time. What do you mean by that? Yeah, that's it. Just tune out. Like, just keep going. Me too. This is what I was saying earlier. It reminds me of Letitia. 1 second here. She does write very similar in some things, but I've been going through the 58 pages. Yeah, that was part of it too, wasn't it? was talking about it was the Rachel Morin case, and I was talking about how great it is that the killer was caught, and then people just lost their minds. She kind of sort of reminds me, she, combo of Letitia and Brooks. She kind of also reminds me of Eileen Warnos. You know the girl that I did in the Notorious, let's see what I called it. It was the serial killer 1 hour special that I did. Let's see if I can find it. I did it a couple months, maybe a little bit more than a couple months ago. February. Wow, that was February. I'm going to give you guys the link to it. It was a 1 hour special that I did on serial killers' last words before they die. And all the details, the little details, even like what they ate. But Eileen Warnos is one of them, and she was quite the character in court, and she would just speak her mind and tell the judge off and whatever she needed to do. So it kind of, I saw clips of Sarah, and she was more, respectful that I saw. I haven't seen anything not yet, but there's an element to her that reminds me of Eileen. Yeah, do you guys agree? Okay, you guys, okay, yeah. She kind of does, right? I kind of hate the Boone judge because he's literally saying to her, too bad I waived your right to a lawyer for you. And she's on record saying that she wants a lawyer, she'll win an appeal. Well, it's interesting because I was reading about the 8 different lawyers she's gone through. This is what I'm going to be recording tomorrow. So stay tuned for that in the next couple days. I'll have Chris's up tomorrow, and then if that's Wednesday, maybe by Friday, I'll post Boone. If not Thursday, we'll see what I feel like. By the time it goes through editing and I look it over and whatever. Sarah Boone and her Boonerisms. Oh, good. You loved the video about the Google searches. I'm so glad. I don't know if you guys seen that. I found that interesting too. That one was almost an hour as well. If you guys are looking for something for the weekend to watch. I missed you guys too. Now, Corey Richins, I see that you're bringing up Corey Richins. She is going to a preliminary hearing on the, not next week, but the week after. So I'll be on here. If it's streaming, I'm streaming. So if not, we'll figure this out together. But I would love to hang out with you guys while we watch that. Andrea said, I thought Tisha would be #1 on Google searches. No, it actually, the one that took the cake was was Anna's husband, Brian Walsh. He was a total idiot in the #1. But with I love your longer ones. I put on my headphones and walk around with you while doing housework. It's like your help folding my clothes. That's awesome. Who here falls asleep with some of mine? Because I hear some people like to fall asleep to true crime. Yeah, I'm trying out doing the longer ones. It takes me longer to make. So hopefully I can get faster at it, but I'm trying to do some so that you guys can watch. Yeah, okay, so and I am doing little YouTube shorts. So there might be there might be some that you're like, wait, why is this an older one? We're just trying to get them out there so that I can also have a YouTube Shorts side of things. But I did do one, if you haven't seen it, on the little Shtukasaurus, which you got to see because I did a 1 minute thing and it's such a cool story. Um, that is just amazing how that all happened. Please keep being you. It's better that way. Don't let the haters drag you down. Oh, I just, like I work so hard on these videos and it's just like, sometimes when you look at a video that's 15 minutes, people think it takes 15 minutes. But like, for example, these 1 hour videos take me 2 weeks to script. And then my editor, thank God I have an editor now, she does 4 hours on a 14-minute video, 20-minute video, and eight hours or sometimes up to 16 on these longer ones. And then you have an idiot come in and say stupid stuff and you're like, blah. you know so well, there you go. If you guys want me to give you some more stories while you sleep, let me know. Always been a homework or work buddy. I got an idea. I go to Taco Tuesday every week. You get some tacos. I could do tacos and talk on Tuesdays. That's fun. You usually need Keith Morrison. That's understandable. He has a pretty great voice. Yeah, that'll be faster, Lori. It'll be faster now. I have someone helping me, and so we're already starting to get in the rhythm. And I know she's off next week to help me full time next week. So, um, yeah, it's good. You'll start to see it now. It's just, you have to backtrack in order to go forward. Have I heard the Wade Wilson calls? I haven't. Is it wild? I should take a look. Karen Reed is scheduled for trial on January 25th if they drop the charges. 4 of the officers are under investigation and have been on leave without pay. Proctor has been fired. It's crazy. Okay, wow. Wow. There's so much to dive into. Oh yeah, that would make sense that you're the commercials. I did do I did do a brand deal a couple videos ago. That would have been with my Lida. Have you seen my flypaper Lida video? That one was another long one that I worked on. And I did do one like 4 years ago, but I felt like I could have done a better job on it and I loved the story of it. So I redid it, but I didn't like I added to the story and I find that so fascinating about her and I put in a lot more stuff. How long was that one? That was 40 minutes. So if you guys want to take a look at that one, um you might like the extra bits I put that into there. Oh, good, you saw it. Phone calls from prison YouTube channel doesn't mind you using her calls as long as you shout the channel out. Interesting. I've never even heard of that, so, but interesting. Thank you. I haven't seen you much since Dumbbell Trial, and we were together for so long, and then nothing. I've been missing you. Well, I've been here. I've been um, posting videos, working, trying to find somebody to help me, which I have. And last week I was at a funeral, so I didn't get a video out. Um, that was kind of a weird week. And I did take time off in July because I had a series of crazy stuff happen. And I took a week off in July. So it's it's been interesting. Have you considered using the option of turning your older videos into podcasts? Then people could use the sleep without the commercials to wake them up. Thank you, David, for the suggestion. I actually do have a podcast that turns my videos into podcasts. It's under It's a Crime. I should check on that because a company's supposed to be helping me do that, and I haven't checked in on them for a little bit. But it should be updated up to um, now. Have I heard of Sasha Reed in the Midnight Order? I thought of you, and that would be a great asset to a group. Great asset to a group like that. No, I don't even know. No, I haven't heard of that. Yeah, Spotify and Apple Podcast. Whitney says, how do I feel about the outcome of the Daybell trials? Well, I think Chad's exactly where he needs to be, and I think Lori's exactly where she needs to be. I think Chad's has a history from when he was a little kid. I think there's way more than we don't know. And I'm looking forward to fighting for Charles Fallow. Do shorts for updates and hope your fans okay because they miss you a lot, especially your opinions about if there are written clues. Yeah, I won't. The shorts won't overtake. They won't take my long form videos up. They'll just be filler. They won't take over. I won't do that switch. It'll always be long form. You know, the longer videos. That video of the creep following around the lady in Canada was so creepy. I wonder what happened to him. Yeah, that was creepy. I want that's another guy that keeps getting out. He just gets in trouble, gets out, and then he's just does what he wants. Would you be interested in reading the poem I wrote about Ashley Benefield case? I haven't followed that case. I gotta look at it, and then we could see. He was. Yes, I know, Daniel, me too. I'll reach out to his mom and sister and see if there's any updates. If not, then maybe I can do another dive into his letters. Yeah. Yeah, so I am it's going to take me a little bit. Just please be patient with me on the YouTube shorts cuz the algorithm has to figure me out and I have to figure that out because it's very different. I have to talk as much as possible in a minute. And I'm learning, right? I feel like, when we're younger and we give like the remote control to our parents or our grandparents and you're trying to teach them how to do it and you're like, "Oh my God." So I feel like I'm getting to that point where I'm going, "Oh my God, this is so new. I have to figure it out." So just bear in mind if you see some things, show some love and watch the YouTube short. And if it's like Linda's just finding her way in that space, it might take a little bit. But I feel like the the little dinosaur one was pretty good. But it won't ever take away from my bigger ones. Are Canada laws close to American laws? Maybe in some aspects. Who knows what's going on right now, though? It's just a you know what show. There's some weird stuff happening. But if you have some ideas, because you guys probably consume YouTube shorts, right? So if you have some ideas of what would be good or the type of short to put out that you would like to see from me in a small minute thing, let me know. Because that could be, you guys can have your say. Okay. Thank you, Psycho Kitty says, I've seen the shorts and watched and liked them on. I appreciate that. Thank you. Right? Good. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you have some ideas, quick case updates would be awesome. Yeah, that's great. Because sometimes, I have that, not a lot to say, but maybe, oh, hey, this is coming up or whatever. Okay, great. Thank you for your guys' ideas on that. Yeah, Justin Evans still keeps me up. I still get upset about it. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out. Preview of upcoming videos. Yep, okay. I did that one with Ryan. That's a good idea. And then upcoming dates, perhaps. There's still crazy stuff going on in Sebastian Rogers. Okay, wow. Missing unheard of people. Seeing your shorts remind us to have a look. You know what I'd be interested in knowing the YouTube shorts if you're getting notifications no problem and yet not on the long form. I vote for long form Justin Evans recap, get his name and face back out there with the whole story, make him fresh again. I love that. This is awesome. Yeah, I recognize you, AJ. I know. I'm going to be 5 years in November. Okay, these are great. You guys have such beautiful ideas. Thank you so much. Oh, oh dear. Dates. Okay, sweet. There is so much crazy listening to Linda talk about it makes it easier to take. So thank you. I'm doing my best. I try. Okay, sweet. Awesome. Little by little, we'll get this figured out. School in Canada is starting back in 2 weeks. So that'll be more of a schedule. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the feedback. Same with now in the upcoming cases, I'll be doing some new cases and maybe sprinkle the big longer ones because it takes me too long. So maybe you guys are probably feeling that because it's taking me a longer time to do the 1 hour videos. I just keep doing the smaller ones and then once in a while the bigger ones. Heather, you just do the little @ sign. If you can tag somebody, you just do the @ sign. Maybe a day of the week you plan for shorts as teasers for upcoming cases, okay? Oh, you're so sweet, Andrea. Thank you. Angelina says, "Oh, thank God, my oldest two kids are so crazy. Even their toddler brother needs a break." I know, 2 more weeks, the kids go back to school. I can't believe it. I can't believe because it feels like we just started the summer. Oh, it doesn't work. That's so weird, Heather. I don't know. I don't know. That's so weird. Thank you. Yes. Doing okay now. We're good. I don't mind the shorts on older cases because I know it helps your algorithms. Yeah, so part of the reason we're also putting these older YouTube shorts is because I have a library of like 600 videos. Instead of me having to take my eye off of doing the meat and potato videos, I'm trying to repurpose some of the other ones and take little clips from them, and maybe some other people can find me on here too and build our community and that. So, yeah. Oh, see, this is interesting. This is what I wonder. So, you might see me tinker a little bit. Yes, I have one that is an adult. I got to meet his girlfriend last week. So that was interesting. It was good. I like to meet her. Okay, so we have coming up Corey Richins. Mark it on your calendars in 2 weeks, or maybe I could do a short saying that it's coming up. And I'll have to see if it's going to be live streamed. I'm hoping it will. It's been before we've seen it, so hopefully we can, and I'll bring that. I know, don't say that. Don't say that. I really liked her, and she was pro mum. She was pro mum because I said, "Well, I'm just gonna come over. I'm near your place. Can I come over?" And you can hear in the background, "Yes, you can." So I got to meet my son's girlfriend. It was good. Except my son's starting to talk about kids like he saw a little baby or whatever. She's so cute, mom. And I'm going, no, no, I see that twinkle. No. Don't make me a grandma yet. Yes, I would love to do something like that. I'd have to see how to obtain them. Did anybody know that? They could help me out on that one? Oh, what would I do if I became a grandma already? I don't know what they would call me. Grandma seems weird. All right. Now, before I go, I just want to thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I'll try and figure out the next time to come on, and of course, we can with Corey Richins. I love this glamour. And Lori's going to be a Grammy in November. This is amazing. Russell says totally stuck on interrogations. I'm thinking that you mean you love them? Okay, yeah, I would love that too. I have to figure out how I can obtain them though. There was a noise. I don't know what that was. I like glamour. All right, you guys, I'm going to head out. Time for me to get a little bit more work done and get some rest. And be on the lookout tomorrow for my next video. And if you don't get notifications tomorrow, check because it should be here. And then we'll do Sarah Boone and look out for Ryan because I have a video on Ryan that'll be out next week. And then also I'll try another live stream next week. And that's so cute. 1111, thank you. I share your incredible deep dive vids with my mom too. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then we're on to Corey, okay? So have a really great night. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Thanks for the suggestions. Bye.